Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of FTU Life After the Military. I'm your host, Tony Rodriguez. It's been a few weeks since I've done an episode. To be honest, I've just been kind of tired, right? Coming into the end of the year, I usually get a little down, a little depressed because I miss my parents. And it's just a little tiring, mentally tiring. And then, coming to the end of the school year, academic year, or the semester, it can be a little tiring. This semester for my PhD program, I knew I was going to pass. I earned a B in the class, and PhD program, a B is basically the equivalent of a D. And so, yeah, I'm a dirtbag. But right, well, what's the point of my degree is to accomplish, to earn my degree. Right, so like I told my professor, I couldn't care less if I have a 3.0 all the way across. I could be the worst PhD in the history of the world, but I will have my PhD, right? So for me, that's all I'm concerned about. I'm not worried about like my GPA or any of that nonsense. But I wanted to do this episode before going into Christmas. It's December 20th. Big news, right? Brandon, right? He was in this competition to see if he could win the Big Rig, and now I can actually honestly call him Big Rig B because he won. That's awesome. That guy, I'm very proud of him. He worked hard for this. He's earned it. Brandon is, and always will be like an example for everybody who was in the military, who's in the military, and who will leave the military, right? He's pretty quiet. He's pretty humble. He's a good trash talker. I don't know if you can be humble and a good trash talker, but Brandon seems to be able to pull it off. And he earned this, right? I mean, there's nothing more you could say about it. It's just like, I'm very proud of him, and I'm happy for him and for his family. Hey, but to get back to this, what is this program about? It's about making sure that we take care of ourselves mentally, right, and to prepare ourselves for life after the military. So if you're out, right, and you're looking for jobs, right now is a awesome time to be looking for jobs. For some reason, interviews pick up during this time of the year. So if you haven't been applying for jobs, now is an awesome time to apply. And it doesn't matter what it is, just apply, right? Throw your application out, your resume out there, like tailor it to the job that you're looking for, right? Don't just throw a generic resume out there, tailor it, and then submit it, right? You might get a call, you might not, but all you need is one. You don't need 1,000 offers. You just need one offer, right? I enjoy where I'm working right now. I was offered a position to go out to Iraq to be a site lead. They were offering, I think it was 125, 130,000, something like that. And then the whole nonsense kicked off. This was in September, right? And then what happened in Israel, and right, that happened early October. So I told the guy, it's like, yeah, there's no way I'm going out there. If you want me to go out there, then you need to offer me at least 200,000. And his response was like, yeah, we can't do that. It's like, okay, well, I'm not going to go out there in this type of condition for anything less than $200,000. And I was told that that's pretty arrogant. He did not tell me that, but I had other people tell me that was a little arrogant. And it might be, I don't know. But it's okay to ask for it, because what's the worst they're going to say? No? Like, I'm not putting my life in danger just for the hell of it anymore, right? And this nonsense of, well, you do it because you owe it to your country. No, I did 22 years. I'm not putting my life on the line anymore for my country. That's just stupid. But hey, that's just me. If you want to do that, go right ahead. There's nothing wrong with that. You can continue to serve in any capacity if you want to be, if you want to stay in the military for 30 years, 40 years, if they let you, go right ahead. If you want to get out, then transition over to FBI, a 3-letter agency, go right ahead. If you want to go be a site lead in Iraq, go right ahead. Do whatever makes you happy, right? We should all be doing that. And for me, right, I've been working, saving money, and then I realized, well, what good is saving the money when I die? I can't take it with me. I want to make sure I leave some, my kids, and my wife, secure if I pass away, right? But they are. I know they are. So, like everybody heard, if you haven't heard, Alabama's in the college football playoffs, right? Roll Tide, and right, Roll Tide, and so I bought tickets. I bought tickets to go out there, and I invited Jesse because he lives out there. Jesse, love him, but I started laughing because he told me like, "Hey man, don't buy the tickets yet because I don't know if I." He wasn't sure if he could go, and I really want Jesse to go so he can go watch the game. Just have a good time, right? But if Jesse can't go, I'm still gonna go, right? I'm a fat guy, so I'll have two seats for myself because I'm a wide body, so I'll take up two seats. I don't care, right? And if I don't need two seats, then I'll go find a hobo that lives out in Pasadena and say, hey bro, you want to go? Like, you don't even have to shower. You can go all stinky, and I'll buy you some beer and I'll buy you some food and I'll buy you an Alabama hat, and we can be out there cheering for Alabama. If anybody says anything too bad, we have tickets, right? Like, I want Jesse to go, but if he can't go, that's not going to prevent me from going and seeing the Tide in the playoffs. I started becoming one of those snooty Tide fans, right? I was thinking, wow, I'll just go next year when they're playoffs. There's no guarantee they're going to be in the playoffs. You stupid. Coach Saban might decide that he's going to retire. If he wins this year, he's like, you know what, that's it, I'm out. 8, right? 7 for the school, so he will be the best coach at the school, the history of the school, and then he'll have 8 titles, more than anybody in the history of college football. So he might retire, right? It's a long-winded story to say don't put off for tomorrow what you can enjoy today, right? So that's all. I'm going to go out there and enjoy it. And if you didn't know this, I love the band Rush. I love it. I was sad when Neil Peart passed away in 2018. Lost his battle with cancer. So I was real sad about that. So if you don't know, there's this pole vaulter, right? I used to pole vault when I was in high school, right? 12 feet. That was 12.6 was as high as I went. I sucked. My high school had 2 poles, right? There's an 11-footer and a 13-footer, and they were both rated for somebody that was 140 pounds. In high school, I was a whopping 120, right? That was my running weight. Regular weight was 130. Running was track weight was 120. So I couldn't bend the pole, so I was a stiff pole vaulter, right? It looked sad and pathetic, but what are you going to do when you're in the hood? So I did the best I could, and I followed pole vaulters. Anyway, there's this pole vaulter in Nebraska, and her name's Jen Garner or something like that. Anyway, look her up. She has some sort of drive going on for cancer research. Her mother came down with cancer, and for me, that's a pretty big thing because, like I said, I lost my father. He lost his battle to cancer. So if we can help anybody, just doing research in whatever shape, way, or form, if they're trying to do research or just help somebody who has cancer, a family member who has cancer. If you can donate $5, donate $5. If you can't donate anything, don't donate anything. And donate 100, donate 100. I dropped down a whopping $50, right? Why? Because 50 is not as good as 51, but it's better than 49, right? That's what I had to donate. So, but to get back right to my original point, I'm trying to enjoy the moment right now. So I love the band Rush, right? Neil Peart passed away. Rush is never going to tour again, right? They agreed that there was going to be them 3, and if it wasn't them 3, then they would not tour as Rush. So anyway, Geddy Lee, every year they auction off stuff, right, to help out charities in Canada. Alex Lifeson and Geddy Lee. Well, this year Geddy Lee decided that he wasn't going to auction off any bass guitars or basses, right? He was going to auction off his baseball memorabilia. Well, this guy has like millions of dollars worth of baseball memorabilia, right? I remembered about it I found out about it on the last day of the auction, so I was able to go in there. I wanted to purchase some of his baseball art, but I was outbid. right? So I won this coin purse, right, from 1910. I got my dates back up. The coin purse is from 1910, and it has like a little metal clasp. I'd show it to you, but like I told my wife, it came in the mail, packaged up. I had my gloves on, my latex gloves. Took it out, opened it, checked it out, closed it back up, put it back into its wrap. Took that, put it into a Ziploc bag. Then took that and then I put that into another bag, and then I vacuum sealed it, and then I bubble wrapped it, and I put it in my safe. It's going to stay there because it's not mine. That's the highlight of my memorabilia. That by far beats anything I ever was given, earned in the military, anything throughout my life. Winning conference and track, winning that little medal in pole vaulting when I was in high school. This beats all of it, right? My medals for combat or for my deployments, not even close. If there were planets, that coin purse would be the sun, and my medals from the military would be in like 3 galaxies away. It's not even close how much this means to me. So I got that, I put it away. It's in my safe, and the next time it comes out will be when I pass away, and it's given to my daughter because it's hers now. It's hers, but she'll receive it when I pass away. I don't want to touch it. I don't want to break it. I don't want to do anything to it. I just want to save it for her. But for me, right, because I love Geddy Lee. I mean, I love his music. I love his voice. Everything, right? So I purchased this. It's not you can't see very well, but it's a baseball photo from the 1890s, right? I have no idea who this baseball player is, and honestly, I don't care. I had this. It's been out in my office for the past 10 days, and after tonight, I'm going to take it. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to wrap it, seal it up, because it's very fragile. Even the frame is fragile on the back, right? And I wanted to get it out and just hold it, right? Because for me, like, this is something that Geddy Lee touched, right? This is like he held it just like I am right now, and admired it and enjoyed just having it, right? And so for me, it's a big thing that I can enjoy something that he owned. You know, it's a pretty big deal for me. I know it may not sound like it, but I tried to do a backflip. I tried to do a cartwheel. It didn't come out very well. But you know, I'm not working to just save money for people, for my family when I die. I'm not working for the sake of working, right? I work so I can have a little bit of money so I can enjoy life, right? As you see back there, I have 3 guitars. I still want to buy an Alex Lifeson guitar, right? But to win one of his guitars in an auction, like, I had to drop about $35,000-$50,000. Like, I don't have that much money for a guitar. So for me, this picture was, this baseball card was like the next best thing, right? So just enjoy life, right? We're retired. We're retired from the military. We're not retired from life, right? You know, I had my family making fun of me because, you know, I'm Mexican, but I have a gardener, right? They come, they mow the lawn, they pull the weeds. It's not like I have a whole lot of bushes, but they trim the bushes. I have a garden gnome, right? He's a little Mexican guy out there, right? And my friend telling me that that's kind of false advertisement, because there's no Mexicans out there doing the yard work, right? And that's true, because again, I don't work so I can come home and do more work, right? We hire a housekeeper, right? So she can come and she cleans like once a week, twice a week. I don't even know when she comes. Honestly, she's gone by the time I get home. I just know that I don't have to clean. And again, right, I work so I can make more money, so I can enjoy life, right? I know people want to buy boats and big cars. I already have my car. I have a Mustang. That's all I wanted. Yeah, I want a Jag. I'll get that eventually. But just don't worry so much about the materialistic things. Don't if you have some money and you can afford to like help other people out by employing them, go right ahead and do that, right? Because it sounds like I'm a snob now. I always was a snob. It's just now I have a little bit of money. That's all. Before I was a poor snob. Now I'm a middle class snob. But I can help people provide for their families. So why not? Why not help out? And it makes my life a little bit easier because I don't have to deal with mundane chores, right? So yeah, it's the holidays. Enjoy your time with your family. Check on each other because, like I said, I haven't done episodes lately because during this time of year, I get depressed. I get down because I remember all the Christmases that I missed, all the time that I missed with my family. And then I remember all the time I took for granted with my parents when they were here. And now they're not, and I can't get that time back, so I get down. So it's important that we check on each other. You don't have to call and talk for hours upon hours. You can just send a text. Hey, fool, you all right? And that's good. If they're your actual friends, then check on them. If they weren't, if they were just coworkers, then you don't have to feel guilty that you're not checking on them because that's not your. You can't save the world, right? You have to prioritize. So take care of yourself first, and then work outward, right? Take care of yourself, take care of your family, and then check on your friends, right? Don't try to take on too much. For me, like I said, I was in this PhD program. I was doing the boot camp. I liked the boot camp so much that I actually applied to a master's program for data science because the boot camp was pretty sweet. It was just too fast, and honestly, the boot camp just prepares you to be a data analyst. And why would I want to be a data analyst if I could be a data scientist and make more money? Money, 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 right? Everybody wants the cheddar, right? Well, if you like math at all, if you like programming at all, you should check out Eastern University and their Masters of Science in data science because you can make some decent money as a data scientist. So this is just a short little podcast because I just wanted to make sure that everybody heard that Big Trucker B won. Again, very proud of him. He earned this. He worked very hard for this. I don't know. That's like the biggest news I've had in a while, right? Like, one thing I always hated was I would hear people say that, if you just stick in there, if you just, good things will happen to you. My ship will come in one day. It's like Brandon didn't wait for his ship to come in. Brandon went, he built that ship, and then he sailed that SOB into port, right? He did it himself. He worked, he developed his plan. He worked for this, and he earned it. And now he's hopefully here pretty soon. He's going to start his own business, contracting business, and expand on that, right? I don't have that drive. I want to, again, be constructively lazy. So for me, I've followed Enrique Hernandez. If you don't know his podcast, you should check it out. Let me give it to you here. It is the Property and Wealth Podcast by Foxtrot Capital. Check it out on Apple Podcasts. But anyway, so I wanted to go that route, but I don't want to actually do the work, right? So I just want to basically go in with people, have them do the work, and just have a passive income, right? Just have my investment there, and 5 years from now, cash out. 5-10 years from now, whenever it is, right? That's what I want to do. So I'm looking into commercial investing as something else to do aside from working. All right. If you didn't know it, I'm in the running for a project management position for solar power, which I think is awesome because I don't know how many of my retired friends are so against electric anything. I think they have valid points. Honestly, that doesn't really matter. I want to work, and I want to work where I can use my skills. I want to do something that's challenging. I get to travel a little bit, but not out of the United States, which is awesome because I do not want to leave the US. And they're going to pay me more money, right? At the end of the day, that's what we're looking for. More money. I've had people, quite a few people tell me, it's like, wow, I'm looking for my dream job. I'm looking for something that's going to, make me happy. It's like, well, I did a really shitty, crappy job that I hated for 22 years while I was in the military. Why can't I do a job that I just dislike? Being in the military made me think about putting a bullet in my head. It was miserable. I hated every second of it. I met some good people. I had some good times, but even during those good times, I hated being in the military. Now, with that being said, why can't I do a job that's going to pay me a lot more money if I just dislike it? Because, again, right? Now you're paying me to do a job, right? I'm not going to do my job as a project manager, then have somebody come in all of a sudden and say, hey, we need to mow the lawn. Well, go mow it, dude. I'm not doing that. It's not why you hired me. They're not going to come in and, hey, like you have to go to dental because you haven't had your annual checkup. Like, get out of here. Crazy. Right? I'm not going to be bothered with a bunch of nonsense. It's just results based. Can you get the results? If you do, then you're going to keep your job. You may get a promotion, right? And if you don't, then you're probably going to leave. They're probably going to let you go, right? You don't have to be the best, but you have to perform. You have to have results. And I don't like bringing this up, but in the job that I'm in right now, of course, right? With budget cuts, we felt it too, and somebody had to go. I thought I was going to be the one that was let go because I was the first one, or I was the last one hired, right? No, it's results based. If you can't, the people that weren't performing were the ones that were let go. So, right, and it's nothing personal. That's just how life is on the outside, right? In the military, you could be the biggest screw up on the face of the planet, and they were going to keep you, right? As long as you didn't commit some heinous crime, right? You didn't kill somebody. You didn't, do something so horrible. If you were just a drunkard, then whatever, they would deal with it, right? If you were late all the time, right, they would deal with it. If you were lazy, they would deal with it. It's when you became an actual criminal, that's when things became an issue in the military. But you could be an underperformer. That just meant you weren't going to get promoted. They'd still keep you. They'd let you re-enlist up until a certain point, right? You do up until 10 years as a E4, right? So it doesn't require much to stay in the military. You basically have to have a pulse. Well, in the outside world, it's not like that. Like, you have to perform. And if you don't, then you're going to be let go eventually. So that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a little bit more of a challenge, right? I kind of miss a little bit of that stress, that pressure to perform. I had this interview and they were telling me, it's like, it's going to be pretty isolated places. And like, where? It's like, wow, you're going to be in Arizona? It's like, yeah, Arizona isn't bad. That's just the desert. Like, nobody's shooting at me. Nobody's throwing rocks at me, right? It's like, wow, the internet's pretty spotty. It's like, spotty internet is better than no internet, right? Like, it's all how you view things, right? And try to explain that to them. It's like, yeah, I don't care. Arizona, great. If I have a weekend, maybe I'll drive up to Vegas. I don't gamble. I don't drink, so I'm not really sure what I'd do there. Maybe play some golf. Maybe go out to Phoenix, play some golf. Whatever, right? Just find out what you want to do and go do it, right? For me, I'm looking into this Rise Capital Investments, right? RISE Capital Investment. They're based out of Texas. I'm just getting into some information. I don't know. We'll see how much money they want from me. I don't want to go too deep in because I like my money. But again, I just wanted, this was a real quick, short one. Just probably not going to do any more until after the new year, because Christmas is coming up. Going to Tuscaloosa again to visit my daughter, and then as soon as I come back from Tuscaloosa, getting on another plane and flying out to LA so I can go watch the Tide. Well, and by the way, the best part of being retired is I don't fly anything but first class anymore. Again, why? I don't work to save every penny, right? My back hurts, my knee hurts, my shoulders hurt, my hips hurt, right? Trying to squeeze my fat ass into one of those tiny chairs on the airplane, it's just not going to happen anymore. So I fly first class, right? Flying 5.5 hours from Raleigh to LAX, it's not going to happen, coach. It's not. I need to recline my chair all the way back, like the VIPs in first class. That's what I do. If they let me, like, if I could get a pod, I would get the pod, so I could just lie down the entire time, right, and just be a zombie in there. But unfortunately for these flights, they're not far enough. But again, right, just what do you want to do? Do you want to save every cent that you have, or do you want to enjoy life a little bit? It's up to you. Maybe you can enjoy life a different way, right? Maybe you just want to have one buddy who just wants to go out fish. I don't know how much that costs, but he seems to enjoy it because he's out there just about every day. So for shout outs, I want to shout out my grandbabies, right? Lena and Jing. He's coming around. He's coming around, that little boy. I mean, he still know Lena, right? Lena, she's the Scadia. She's my tag team partner. She's Brett the Hitman Hart, and I'm Jim the Anvil Nightheart. She's Road Warrior Hawk, and I'm Road Warrior Animal, right? That's just how it is. I'd say the Steiner brothers, but those guys were nuts. So yeah, she's Brett the Hitman Hart, and I'm Jim the Anvil Nightheart. She's my number one, right? So I just want to give a shout out to my grandbabies. I love you both. All right, so until next time, guys, just remember, you have something that makes you unique. You have a skill that makes you special, something that separates you from everybody else. Just identify what that is, maximize it to your fullest potential, and I know you'll be successful, right? You're going to get some no's when you apply, right, to jobs. Like, you probably going to get the first 10 jobs you apply to, you're probably going to get rejected from all 10 of them. But on the 11th one, you might get an offer. So just stick with it, all right? I know you'll be successful. All right, so until next time, zot, 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 and roll tide.